UFC 302 is about to go down this weekend. Dustin Poirier is taking on Islam Makhachev in his retirement fight, apparently. I've done a bit of research, rewatched a few of their most recent fights. I rewatched Benoit versus Dustin, Islam and Volkanovski #1, and Dustin Poirier versus Michael Chandler and Charles Oliveira. And honestly, there's only one way I can see Dustin Poirier winning this fight, and it's obviously by the guillotine choke. Gilly Goose Gang, motherfucker. No, seriously though, unironically, I think there's only one real way that Dustin Poirier can get the win here. From what I've seen so far, Islam doesn't really do too well going southpaw versus southpaw. As a southpaw myself, I can attest to that. When you fight another southpaw, it's just weird for anybody involved. But something I picked up on is that, like, during the actual chaotic striking exchanges, when both men are very close up together and they're just winging bombs at each other, very close quarters, is that Islam tends to not win those exchanges more often than not, and Dustin Poirier really thrives in those exchanges more often than not. After all, that's literally how he just won his last fight versus Benoit St. Denis, which, by the way, not a good performance to come off the back of to enter this fight. That was probably one of the worst performances I've seen by Dustin in a hot second. And honestly, I'm going to chalk that up to just the pace that Benoit St. Denis was putting on Dustin, which if Islam is going to chase after Dustin during this fight, he has to be on him the entire fucking time grappling him. But Dustin Poirier has really good takedown defense. That is if he's not jumping the fucking gilly. The only way I can really see Dustin knocking out Islam is off of a takedown defense. If Dustin can throw some shots just off of the break of the clinch and clip Islam is proven that he can be hurt. I mean, after all, he got brutally KO'd that one time. But also, Volkanovski was able to knock him down with punches. And if I was a betting man, I'd honestly bet that Dustin Poirier punches a lot harder than Alexander Volkanovski. If Dustin can somehow keep himself on his feet and just keep throwing out of the exchanges, then there's a lot of opportunities where he can clip Islam. Islam very much so likes to strike, at least, at a very calm pace, very singular, not a lot of combinations when you see Islam strike. And Dustin Poirier is all about fucking combinations, especially with the hands. Another thing too that Volkanovski utilized really well against Islam that he really didn't defend the entire fucking fight was leg kicks. If Dustin can work his range with his boxing really well and then just keep snapping the left leg kick on the outside of Islam's thigh, and if he wants to swap stances, keep smacking the inside of that shit too, it's definitely only going to help him. What's crazy is that the big meme going into this fight is that Dustin's going to finish by the first round guillotine choke, of course, but interestingly enough, we've actually seen Islam practicing the guillotine himself, and I think it would be super fucking sadistic of both Khabib and Islam to do that to Dustin in his last fight. And with this being Dustin's last fight, a lot of people are questioning his headspace going into it. It's like, well, how badly do you really want this fight if you're planning on just leaving, win or lose? And whilst yes, his motivation could be at risk here, I think it's also a bit of a double-edged sword. Me personally, if I'm in my retirement fight and I'm fighting for the championship and I've already had 2 attempts here and I've been choked out both times, I'm going to be fighting tooth and nail to leave everything in that cage. And we know Dustin does that every time anyway. Another thing I saw is that Islam's coach apparently said that he's confident that Islam can just box with Dustin straight up if he wanted to. I invite that. Please do. Please do that the entire fight. Please pull a Holly Holm, Ronda Rousey. Dustin's boxing is probably one of the best in the entire UFC and MMA period. And while Islam has good kicks I've seen, his hands on the other end is just not really there. Ooh, something I forgot about. They're using the new UFC gloves on this fight. Let me just say first off, they're fucking ugly as shit. Oh my God, they're gross looking. I just don't think the gold look good. It just don't. But from everything that we've gathered through Islam using the gloves in training and Alexa Grasso and other people, these gloves kind of fix the eye poking problem a little bit by curving the fingers in, but at the same time, the new material of the gloves and just the way they're built now is a lot more compact. Islam said they're a lot stiffer. They're not as soft as the old UFC gloves, so they're going to cause a lot more cuts and stuff like that. So if Dustin can slice up Islam's face just because of the gloves alone, in all honesty, I think the gloves are going to help Dustin a lot in this fight. Obviously, they're not going to be a reason he wins if he does, but my heart is telling me Dustin Poirier. I want Dustin to win this fight so badly, and a lot of us do. Honestly, if you're rooting for Islam going into this fight and you're not from Russia, what the fuck are you doing? You have no heart, you piece of shit. Let me know what you guys think of the fight. I always do love seeing, like, the fight discussion go down in the comments, especially in the last video. That last video fucking blew up. Thank you guys so much for watching that one. Honestly, I think it all just came from hate for Tyson Fury rather than, like, appreciation for Usyk's win. Motherfuckers do not like Tyson Fury, not even in his own country, bro. That's fucking insane. That is crazy. Anyways, leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more fight talk in the future. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on this fight. I'll see you guys later.
My secrets and my heart is what I gave to you. In return, you see nothing but a lame excuse. And it's wow, I did everything just to see you smile. I've been thinking about you for a while. Responding to your pics and your vids. Now I see you just do it for the gram. And you talking on your man.